Welcome to episode number 3 of Dial a Dietitian. So today we are talking with Zach Cordell from Florida in the United States. He is a professor of nutrition, does consulting, and does kind of a myriad of things. And we'll talk about it a little bit in the interview, but he just launched a podcast, which is great for interns. It talks all about the intern experience, and they have a Facebook group as well that is free. So if you are an intern, make sure you click the links down below and check out that Facebook group and that podcast. It'll be a really, really good resource for you. And if you would like, Nutrition Elevated actually has its own free Facebook community that I just started. So if you click the link down below, then you can go to Nutrition Elevated's Facebook group as well. So 2 free Facebook groups for you. Go ahead and take that as a resource, and we can chat about the episodes in the Facebook group. Zach was actually traveling during the interview, so at some points the video might kind of freeze a little bit. That's just the way it goes sometimes when you're recording on the go, but the quality of his information is amazing. So bear through the video, and I'm sure you will glean lots of really good things. He's a really engaging speaker. It's really no wonder that he speaks quite often with his job. So just bear with us on the video, and I know you're gonna love what he has to say. So today I'm joined by Zach from Florida, and we're going to be talking to him a little bit about his career as a nutrition professor. So Zach, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you were interested in becoming a dietitian. What inspired you?
All right, cool. So Aimee, first, thanks for having me on. And to just let you know, I started out actually in exercise science as I was going for my undergrad. And as I was there, I thought to myself, I can do more good than just training triathletes on how to be faster. Not that there's anything wrong with training triathletes. I just felt like I should be doing more to kind of help out with what was going on. And I was really interested in like international nutrition and like food food insecurities and nutrient deficiencies, things like that. But as I got further along in my understanding of nutrition, I was really just interested in the cultural aspect of nutrition and what drives people to eat what they eat. And that's not limited to any place in the world. That's just like what is going on in your realm of activity that's causing you to eat what you're going to eat. But aside from those things, like I also, I think as most dietitians do, have a personal tie to nutrition. My dad had type 2 diabetes and struggled with all the complications. So as I'm going through school, like I watched all the complications that come along with diabetes just kind of take a toll. And so it became very personal, along with understanding and enjoying the cultural side of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I find that with a lot of dietitians that I talk to, there usually is, some sort of either love of food or like a personal like health tie, or a lot of times it's multifactorial, exactly like you have
Sure.
some interest in culture or, some other things. So that's always really interesting to hear.
Yeah, because when I was undergrad, I took like these anthropology courses and sociology, and I was like, those are awesome. Don't know what I would do with it, but they're pretty cool. And then like the more you understand nutrition, you're like, oh, it's everything. It's like what is influencing you to do all that you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're so right, definitely. So since you've been a dietitian, what sorts of jobs have you held, or what sorts of projects have you been involved in?
So I have been a professor of nutrition for about 2 years. And during that time, I've also started my own nutrition company. It's Cordell Nutrition Consulting. And I also have been working on a book. And with that, because I'm a professor, I like present at nutrition conferences and academic symposiums, things like that, as well as just like consulting on the side to speak at different gyms. So it's really been like nutrition education has been the big part of it. I do some counseling, but that's more of like as people come to me. I'm not going out and seeking any of those things, but there will always be people that want someone to tell them what to do.
Yes,
Especially
definitely.
with nutrition.
Yes, definitely. So out of all of those things, what excites you most about your work in nutrition?
Everything. I just honestly, I just love nutrition because it's so like omnipresent. It is everywhere, and it's in everything. I was thinking about this because you let me know the question beforehand, and as I was thinking about it, I was like, it's kind of like the gluten-free diet, and how celiac patients must feel about the gluten-free people, right? So everybody is interested in nutrition. Everybody's interested in weight loss. Everybody's interested in not getting cancer, not getting diabetes. And so because that interest is there, there's a lot of people that fuel it, but there might not be all the information that comes along with it. Whereas like with the gluten-free craze, like the celiac people benefited greatly because they now have access to all this gluten-free food that wouldn't have otherwise come about if there hadn't been this gluten-free movement. But at the same time, there's like a double-edged sword. So I love everything about nutrition. I'm not a clinical person. That's why I like community work. I do public health approaches, but I'm not a hospital dietitian. And so that would kind of be like where I don't fit in, but I honestly love everything about nutrition.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that analogy was really interesting. And then I think it's also just interesting. There's some people that love clinical, and then some people that go down more like an educational route.
Sure.
And yeah, and nutrition is just such a diverse field. You can do so much with it.
Yeah, there really is, because I'm actually working on a podcast right now with a fellow dietitian about how to help interns to get the most out of their internship.
Oh, great.
So the dietitian I'm working with is also a dietitian, so it's another, I understand. But we're working on a podcast to help people to like make sure that they are getting everything they can out of the internship and not just relying on, well, I've already done everything. And I don't know if you've had this experience of interns kind of shoot through the internship because they're like, well, I need to start making money. And I get it. Yeah. This is all just the application of what's going on. But there's a lot of things that you can learn from the internship. So the guy that I'm working with he's a dietitian and a preceptor he's a dietitian and preceptor at Yale New Haven Hospital. So it should be really interesting.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a great podcast. We'll
Yeah.
definitely have to let people know where they can find out more about that when it goes live.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. It should be hitting on match day in April.
Oh, great. Yeah, perfect. So if somebody is thinking about becoming a dietitian, kind of along those lines, what would be your first advice for them?
So this is kind of hard because there's so many things that you tell people, right? And I don't know if you have like your token one answer, but it kind of depends on who the person is, just like it would if you're counseling a patient, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think like my thing would be is to shadow as many dietitians as you can. Get as much experience as you can, whether it's like in food service or if it's in like a retirement facility or in a hospital, just passing food trays. But just get whatever experience that you can, because that's going to always come back to be beneficial. And because you're shadowing people, you're building your network of dietitians that you know. And nutrition is really like nutrition and dietetics, I should say. Dietetics is a really small field. And so if you talk to somebody that's a dietitian, they know people that can kind of help you out. Even if you decide that you don't want to do WIC, maybe you're more interested in doing oncology. They will know somebody in oncology and they can connect you there. But then I guess the second thing that I would say is understand the salary range of a dietitian and kind of understand what your goals are going to be. Whether you want to work part-time and you like the idea of being a dietitian because you have the flexibility to work part-time, awesome. If you're going to do it as a 2-income family, awesome. If you're going to do it as a sole income family, that's fine. But just make sure that you are planning appropriately so that you can set yourself up the best in the future. So I guess those would be like the big things.
Yeah, I think that's really great advice. Thank you for that, Zach. And it's really practical too.
Yeah. And I mean, not to say like you shouldn't go into dietetics if you want to be rich, but at the same time, like maybe that would be something you need to consider if you want to make a substantial amount more than other dietitians, then you would have to do a private practice. And there's plenty of opportunities to do that, but it's just a matter of like what you're looking for.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Well, where can people find you on social media? And then tell us about all your projects and everything you have going on.
Sure. Yeah. So on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, you can find me at Zach Cordell RDN. because I'm the registered dietitian nutritionist kind of person, not just the RD. But that's on Instagram and Facebook. And then on Twitter, I'm Cordell, RDN. My website is cordellnutrition.com. And then I'm working on a book. I'm not sure what the name is quite going to be yet. It's either Creation Changes, the Creation Code, but it's based on like understanding how faith can influence what you do in your behaviors. And it's basically covering like how the creation of the world can help us to understand how we can create changes in our own life. And I'm actually just playing with the idea of starting another podcast based on faith and food. So if you're interested in those things, come and check out my website, cordellnutrition.com. Sign up. I can send you out updates as to when those things are coming out. But love to connect with everybody on social media.
Perfect. Well, great. Thank you, Zach, for all of your information, for talking with us today. I'm
No
sure
problem.
people are going to love it. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for all you do.
Next week on Dial a Dietitian.
You get to see, you have that gratification of seeing that patient maybe not get fully better, but they get a better lifestyle. And so as a dietitian, that's kind of like, again, is linked to like that preventative health, but also just seeing that patient achieve a better lifestyle for themselves.